Hello and welcome to The Greatest. I'm Matt Tilley and with me is Sir Tegan Higginbotham.
That's right. And this edition is all about getting it right the first time. Players who rolled up in their first game and tore it to shreds as if they've been doing it for years.
Dean Polo going for number 3. Can you believe it?
Goes forward and he's put it through.
Down to Viney for his first goal, and boy does he deserve that.
OK, Sir Teagues, let's kick it off with a recently retired Blue. Andrew Walker literally exploded onto the scene.
Thank you, Lady Matt.
Working hard, long way up the ground. And look, he's presenting himself, young Walker, in the centre of the ground.
Making his debut at Carlton's spiritual home, Walker didn't disappoint Blues fans. He collected 26 disposals and took 9 marks, one of those very nearly the mark of the year.
High ball set away, over the top. Almost a terrific mark by the youngster in Walker. Couldn't quite hold on to it.
He would enjoy a 49-point win on debut and give Carlton fans a glimpse of what was to come. Walker carving out an electric 202-game career for the Navy Blues.
Wonderful pass by Walker, who was fantastic at Scotland from 45.
You just watch his eyes, watch his head as he walks. It works the ball into the forward line. He's always looking to bring someone else into the game, even in his first game.
Jack Viney and Ollie Wines grew up BFFs forever and dreamt about playing football together. They kind of got there, making their debut together in round 1 of 2013.
Viney off the pack, splendid. Maybe a sign of things to come. Hammers it towards Sylvia.
Jack's debut, you just know what you're going to get with Jack Viney, and that's when the ball's in his area, he's going to do absolutely everything to win it for the team, and that's what helps others on the outside, because you know you've got an absolute bull going at the footy.
Frawley to Viney, the delivery man. And all 3 deliveries have been spectacularly good. Clark.
At the moment, you just want to get the ball in the hands of Jack Viney, and what a fantastic effort by him.
The son of Melbourne legend Todd Viney looked right at home against the power, helping himself to 22 touches and this cracking goal.
Down to Viney for his first goal, and boy does he deserve that.
What a game. Jack Viney has now chalked up 14 possessions, 11 of them contested, and he's now got a goal to his name. This has been an extremely impressive AFL debut.
Jack Viney, I think, got to Melbourne early, a year before he could play, so no one really knew a lot about him other than he was a great kid, and his first game showed he is a very good kid.
He was a bright light on a dark day for the D's as the Power ran away with the win in the first week of 2013.
But for Viney's mate Wines, it was a much better day, making his intentions known early.
Oh, he tried it on Wines. Too clever, the kid. Ollie Wines. He didn't buy it.
Himself and Jack Viney, they'll both come through the AFL Academy together, and they played a state game against each other, Vic Country, Vic Metro. They had a fight with each other. They were best mates, but that's the competitive nature.
Dumped away. Wines, splendid front and centre crumb. Dunn, both came at it. Wines, clever. He's got Stewart, open goal. Easy as you like. Westhoff floats it inside 50. Ollie Wines, first game, body on the line there. He knew he was probably going to take one to the ear. He didn't care. Clever back step, poke pass, hoping for him, finding Wines. He's a tough nut. Game 1, again puts his body on the line. For his first goal in AFL football, sweet pitches here at the G.
How'd you feel that day?
Oh, look, it's a boy's dream. My dream was to play AFL, and on the biggest stage in football on the MCG, it was really special. And not only that, to get the win, it's awesome feeling.
And it must have been extra special to do it with Jack Viney as well, a good mate of yours?
Oh, definitely, yeah. We've grown up together, and we're real close mates, so to run out against him, very special, not only for me, but I'm sure my mum and Meg Viney would have tears up in the stands. So, look, it's a dream come true for both of us.
Great to see Ollie Wines' debut, and he's just so competitive, and that's why we love him.
Rolling the clock back a little further, and in 2006, Richmond blooded a young halfback from Gippsland in the dream time at the G match against the Bombers.
For Simmons. And they're lining up. Polo on Deboo. Will it have the legs? Will it have the legs? Legs galore. Dean Polo nails one for the Tigers. The distance, the big test here. He's got a loud call, a shriek from Polo. And he will line them up from only about 35 metres out.
Gee, this is a very impressive debut. Dean Polo, a young fella from Gippsland, under 18s.
He has a perfect record, one straight. He still has a perfect record.
It was a time when Richmond need to renew and they've got all these top draft picks, and so they've unveiled Dean Polo on this one of their biggest nights of the year. He kicked 3 goals. He looked like he was going to be anything.
Johnson just hacked it away. That was not a good decision. Dean Polo going for number 3. Can you believe it? Oh, he's kicked it.
The first game up, it's a desperate kick by Jason Johnson. No one to go to. Could have gone to the boundary line a little bit more. Dean Polo races in and gets his 3rd goal for the evening, playing off half-back flank for the Tigers.
Dream time at the MCG, Dean Polo. Not often you get best on ground in your first game and walk home with a boomerang, but that's what happened. Then the next year he turned up with the hyena haircut, so I'm not sure it worked real well for him.
Time for a quick break, but coming up next, we've got some mature age debuts on The Greatest.
Welcome back to The Greatest on Fox Footy. Now, usually when you think of an AFL debut, you think of a skinny, pimple-faced teenager in a jumper 3 sizes too big.
Yep, I know that's what I was like, but there's also the other extreme, and there are the few that waited a long, long time, like the Cats' James Podsiadly.
Drafted as a rookie by Essendon in 1999, J-Pod was given a second chance with the Pies in 2002. After that, he played 7 years in the VFL before being plucked from the Geelong VFL side and onto the Cats' senior list. At long last, he got his shot at the big leagues, playing against the Dockers and clunking 11 marks in the process.
Here's Ablett. Dodds there with him. Burns from the corner. Gets it to Podsiadly. He marks 1 metre out. Podsiadly will come in and kick the goal. His first goal in league footy. And Geelong have kicked 5 in a row.
Danger time. Ablett back on the ground. They've got to lock him down.
Podsiadly has marked the ball within range. One of the inclusions, one of the 4 inclusions in the Geelong side this week. The kick down to Podsiadly. And he's marked it. Got Podsiadly deep. It goes in that direction. He'll drop back. Podsiadly, the first gamer, has a chance to put Geelong back in front. An opportunity for him to kick a huge goal. 1 goal to his kick today. It favours his left foot. 25 metres out. Good drop, good goal. Geelong are back in front.
J-Pod. Grey hairs at this stage. He was our fitness advisor the year before. He's out there playing AFL and kicked a bag. What a star.
Our next 2 debutants at one stage all held the same record, most possessions in their first AFL game. We'll start with a Perth local who exploded onto the scene for the Brisbane Lions. Brad Dalziel was a Supercoach gem from the get-go. On debut, the East Fremantle midfielder would gather 32 possessions against the Eagles at the Gabba, earning himself quite the nickname in the process.
Power, hunted down, big hip and shoulder on Stenglow, hit by Dalziel. There's a bit of razzle-dazzle from the first gamer. Jonathan Brown calls for a back towards the square. Dalziel looks up, he can go all the way, just tries to poke it, hoping for one of them. Charman will do! With the one arm.
Well, that was a very good mark. He pushed back hard towards the goal square and the opponent all over him, and great grab. And Charman's turned around his game after a very disappointing start.
Debuting for the mighty Lions, 32 disposals. It's 32 disposals more than I had in my first game, so it was pretty handy.
Hey, Brad, maybe a few more could have come my way.
Must admit, going into the game, I didn't know a lot about him. And over from WA, came in and just lit it up at the Gabba, just found space. I'm sure he was thinking, how easy is this?
Power to Dalziel. Possession number 24 coming up for the first gamer. Merritt. Just like pulling the wings off the fly at the moment. They're playing with them at the moment. The Brisbane Lions, Dalziel, a couple of bounces. They've got this one. Hatful. Dalziel.
He's putting a clinic in his first game.
Outstanding game for Dalziel in game one. Well, when you know you're calling someone's first game, you tend to ask around, what's he like? Is he a character? Has he got a nickname? And when I was told that Brad Dalziel's nickname was Razzle Dazzle, I was looking forward to calling his first game. Hit by Dalziel. There's a bit of Razzle Dazzle from the first gamer.
I think Dwayne was more excited than Brad was.
Well, I think it wouldn't take long for Dalziel's record to be broken, with the record returning back to the Dockers in the form of Michael Barlow. You knew all that, right?
Absolutely.
Making his debut at 22, Barlow wasn't quite as old as James Podsiadly, but still a mature recruit. And didn't he look ready for his shot? He could have kicked 3 as well, and even threw in a hit-out for good measure.
Barlow again, he is in everything at the moment.
It's great defence. They can't allow them to break the line.
And below the Dockers, here's Ballantyne.
Got it out, set it up, and then a smart kick from Barlow. Found his target that time, BT. They'll be cheering at Assumption.
The harassment that Fremantle have done in this area of the ground has been terrific. And they're doing it again here now. And they'll lock the ball in the 50, and there is a suck it in and refuse to spit it out. To seal the game, says Glenn Jakovic. There's the confronting task. Barlow as steady as a rock. This guy has been the man of the moment. Barlow.
After 126 games at the Dockers, Barlow relocated to the Gold Coast in 2016 to continue his career with the Suns.
2010, Michael Barlow comes out after some pre-season training where I was kicking the ball with him and he was missing me all the time. I was thinking, this guy can't play AFL footy, but he proved me wrong.
All right, Matt, I'm going to see your Michael Barlow and raise you a Greg Williams.
Well, he sure did need some raisin.
Interesting one with Greg in his very first league outing. Most would forget that I'd actually sent him home from our pre-season telling him he's too fat, too slow and not good enough. So he rang Tom Hafey up and Tom offered him the opportunity, and by the end of the first round I knew he wasn't too slow, he wasn't too fat, and he certainly was good enough.
I knew once I saw the debut of Greg Williams, I was probably going to play on him a lot, and I'll have my handful every time I played on him.
How does 38 touches and a goal grab you?
Well, it grabs me right where you touched me.
Hello. So there are the record breakers. We'll take a quick break and come back with the best debuts of all time on the greatest. And it's got everything.
Everything. Welcome back. You are watching The Greatest on Fox Footy. Now, Teagues, you know how they say you only get one chance to make a first impression.
I do, Matt, and yours was terrible.
We're live. These next guys, you know what? They couldn't have done any better job to launch their own AFL careers. 7 goals in his first game, 10 in his second, and then 6 in his third.
23 goals in 3 games. Surely Kerry wasn't happy about being upstaged week after week.
Oh, no, I think Wayne was just letting Adrian have his time in the sun.
How very nice of him.
He's so mercurial. Look at that. Oh, yes, sirree.
Right, business end now, Teagues, and we are into the top 3. Our next debutant went so well in his first game that his coach actually benched him to hose down the hype around an academy product.
Jacob Hopper is a star in the making. You heard it here first. He'll win a Brownlow before he's done.
Really?
Well, I don't know. Maybe it'll take a while for me to be proved wrong, right?
Good point.
Ward, this is where they're lethal. Hopper. Johnson couldn't get clear. Hopper. Inside 50 again, the Suns. Hopper, though, driving well. Ball slipped over. Popper was clean. He saw the unguarded goal square. Patton getting back there.
There was plenty of controversy about the academy boys coming through. I think he's had about 20 at half-time. I could just feel Eddie Maguire going off in the background. And you just thought, GWS, for your own zone selection chances in the future, just get him off. He's too good.
I was at Jacob Hopper's first game and having an impact with him through the AFL Academy, it was great to see a player that is so competitive, tough at the contest, go in and have an impact exactly the same way in his first game.
Our last two debutants are absolute legends of the game.
One a bomber and the other a hawk.
Matthews on the shoulder, but he takes it from the centre. A nice pass up towards Barrett. Oh, buried it right in his chest. Oh, that's a confidence builder for the youngster in his first big game for the Hawks. Long kick, he's straight. Looks good. Yes. Barrett's just driven it a 50-metre goal straight through the centre.
Yeah, in a classical semi-final in those days, North Melbourne versus Hawthorn, this chicken leg skinny kid playing in a key role at centre-half forward was able to go on and kick 5 goals. It's got to be remembered as one of the best, I guess, debuts of any player that I can think of in my 50-odd years associated with the game.
For Murray to get out to Russo's a chance for a score. The ball going quickly toward goal. Brereton's there and takes the mark only a few metres out. From the distance, he should never miss it.
A chance to come within 2 points of North Melbourne. Brereton does so for the Hawks.
Goes in toward Brereton again. A chance for Dench at the back, but he didn't come in. And he let Henshaw do the tackling, and Brereton takes the mark and will take this shot for goal.
It's a real lifeline, Dermot Brereton.
He is that. He's got a bit of red hair. Brereton a chance for his third goal. It's a lovely kick. That's another goal. That's a beautiful goal by Brereton, his third goal.
He can't take it, well spoilt by Dench. Byrne comes in and does it brilliantly. Gets a long one out to Lee. Lee shepherds perfectly. On to kick off the ground by Brereton again from go. It was absolutely flawless team football, starting from Matthews.
I remember before the game, Alan Jeans looked at my boots, and there was a pair of boots I'd been wearing that had moulded soles. And he said, "You going to wear them, son?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "You're not going to wear screw-ins?" And I said, "No, I didn't bring any screw-ins." And he told me off before my first game. And I thought, gee, I wonder if that's going to affect me or whatever. But I got over it fairly quickly.
Brereton's a chance for his 5th goal. 45 metres out from goal. Brereton goes forward and he's put it through. Another goal kicked by Dermot Brereton, his 5th goal. And he certainly made his mark this afternoon.
That was a wonderful, wonderful experience. You know, you just turned 18. 2 years before, if you said to me, write down your fantasy dream about where you want to be in life, it'd be on that day.
You know what, Teagues? Not even our very own Doom could knock off the #1 debutant of all time.
5 goals is a cute start to a career.
Not bad.
But how about 12?
That is awesome.
In 1949, a young John Coleman strode out in round 1 against, you guessed it, the Hawks, and piled on 12 goals in a display that he would better only 3 more times before having his career cut short by a knee injury. At his best, Coleman was unstoppable, a high-marking goal-kicking machine who set the precedent that will probably never be topped.
He didn't really fly on people's heads and backs. He had this unbelievably magnificent leap, unaided, if you like. He was like a standing jumper that kicked out from the height of blokes who were using other people's bodies to do so. And I have to say, I was amongst the group that went from one end of the ground, we went round the outer and down to the other end of the ground to make sure that we're at the end that John Coleman was at.
And until someone kicks 13 on debut,
Unlikely.
I reckon Coleman will stay as the #1 in our greatest debuts of all time.
You know what, Teagues? I could not agree anymore, and thank goodness, because the episode is over. So join us next time when we count down the greatest marks ever taken, right here on Fox Footy.
This has been a Fox Footy production, part of the Fox Sports Network.